What's good? It's your man Ken Billions, the game champ. What's poppin'? It's a special Friday because I'm coming through with loads of game that can help you move, help you scale, help you maneuver, and help you finesse your way through the life. Today, I'm reading from the first chapter of one of maybe my favorite book, and that's the 48 Laws of Power. And I just thought it would be a good idea for the next 48 weeks, do this every Friday. So now, every Friday, I'm going to read from the 48 Laws of Power and get into the game of it so you can get a W and you can get a win, because that's what it's about. It's about you. All right? So again, it's the game champ, Billions, and you know what it is. You know I'm already giving it up. So look, this is one of my favorite books ever written. Robert Greene is one of my favorite authors. So it's on the lines of my favorite or yeah, because it's cold. All right, so it ain't for everybody though. It's for the people that got places to be and people to see in a short period of time. And then it's also about people that want to create heaven on earth now. But in order to do that, you have to do it through mentalism, because the game is all mental. And by the time it gets to physical combat, that means we lost the mental game, because that's a primitive way of warfare. Being petty is a primitive way of warfare. Arguing and venting and lower tiers of dysfunction, that's a primitive way of warfare. The highest level of warfare on this planet is the war of the mind. And if you can use your mind to solve your problems and get where you got to go, then it's fair game. All right? It's the battle of the minds. And in this realm, you got to study to show thyself approved. All right? So we're going to start with the first chapter of the 48 Laws of Power. And again, I'm going to do this every Friday. So you go into the weekend with hella game. All right, so listen. This is an important chapter, and I'm glad that it actually started off with this, because this is something that people can learn ASAP, because they catching L's in the job, in the home, in the streets, everywhere. And that's a problem. We want to minimize our losses and then cut them out completely, all right? But the issue is we're losing in a mental game. People are not thinking their way out of this. They're not training their mind to manipulate circumstances in their favor. So that's what we're going to talk about, all right? So let's do it. Look, law one, never outshine the master, right? Never outshine the master. And it reads like this. Always make always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and insecurity. Make your master appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. Now, all of us have masters in our life. Some of it is in our marriage. Some of it is in the church. Some of it is at the workplace, in the street, in your social group. It's an individual that is kind of in the way of where we're trying to get. And you may be smarter than them. You may have more talent than them. You may be more capable of them. But for whatever reason, they have a position that you know you would excel better in, and you believe that you can do a better job. All right, so that exists everywhere. All right, and what happens is you wind up playing yourself because you try to maneuver. You do too much trying to get recognized, and then everyone focuses on you, and then that particular master in that arena, whatever it is, starts to get a little jelly. All right, and then you lose your spot. But the way that you work the game is you always conceal your intentions. There's a chapter in this called Conceal Your Intentions. And if this is the master, the way that you want to get into the master's favor. So you want to be able to control the master. Sometimes it's better to be the person under the master, because you can actually have a lot of power behind the scenes and be in the ear of the master. Like, for example, our government has people in hidden places. I always said, yo, I see who elects the president, but who is in charge of electing the Secret Service? All right, the people that protect powerful people. Okay, that's a fraternity. And if you are responsible for protecting powerful people, then there is a system in place behind the scenes that vets for that. And whoever they are, they have the power, okay? But they want to remain hidden, so they're not going to outshine the front person, whoever that is, the person in front of the camera. They just play behind the scenes and pull the strings. They stay behind the scenes and pull the strings. Now, the people on the bottom of in America or around the world, they can really learn from this. See, in America, people have ran out of game. All right, they have no game at all. And what I mean by that is everything has to happen through legislation. Everything has to happen through marching, petitioning, social media rants, protests. Man, listen, if you got to do all that, that means you ran out of game. You ran out of finesse. What are you doing protesting when I told you that this is a mental game? So what are you crying and protesting for? And what you're putting yourself in a position is you need other people to change so you can get ahead, right? Me personally, if I fail the game, then that means whatever I failed to was just better than me. If they were cheating better than me. If they were straight up, they were straight up better than me. If I lose, it's because the game is better than me that I'm playing, period. And no matter how hard I train, I'm just going against a elite force, elite competition. And if I lose like that, then I'm comfortable. But if I lose because I'm waiting for the master to change, that means I ran out of game. So I can't get where I gotta go unless you act differently. I don't like that. I'd rather figure you out. And if I lose, I lose. Then I lost to something superior to me, and then I just have to catch a next go around, right? So in this game, instead of petitioning and protesting and campaigning like that, do other things. Now, I'm saying that to say, when you are campaigning or protesting or doing any of that kind of behavior, you're trying to outshine the master, right? You're trying to get all that attention on yourself, and because you need the court of public opinion to sympathize whatever it is you're going for. So you're trying to outshine the master instead of getting up under the master to use the master and keeping your intentions quiet. The bad thing about people on the bottom, they always reveal what they're after. They say it immediately. Oh, we want better housing. Oh, we want voting rights. Oh, we want this, we want that. And if I know what you want, I'm able to control the outcome. So anytime people in this country have got exactly what they want through protesting and legislation changing, because the people that allowed that already knew their hand already, the outcome is controlled. So even if it's movement for the people, it's still movement for the op, because the op is going to find its way to position itself on the right side of history, right? The thing about power to maintain itself, sometimes it has to be flexible, and sometimes it has to give a little bit in order to maintain power. But in that process, though, it positions itself correctly. So when you protesting and campaigning and screaming and kicking and hollering about what you want, by the time they allow you to have it, they already plan to the end already. You understand? They're working their way backwards. They're giving you what you want, but at the same time, you are also playing a position that they're moving around. Because again, where's the war fought? The war is fought mentally. And what people have to understand is the game is not personal. Sometimes it's not that people don't like you. It's that you're just in their way for what they're trying to get. It's not personal. You take it personal. So when governments treat populations unfairly for natural resources, it's not that they dislike or like the people. It's not personal. It's that you actually have something I need. So how am I going to get it? Because I'm going to get it from you, right? So this is how government thinks. Can I make you an offer you can't refuse? Or do we have to go to another level, right? But instead of doing that kind of behavior of kicking and screaming when it comes to outshining the master, just use your game. Just use your finesse. Figure out what it is. So when I say the master, so let's say the system or the government or the place that you live, right? Say that system is the master currently. and you don't like the way that things are. All right, what you would do is, number one, you would mate a certain type of way. So you would put strategy in the children, okay? And you would play the long game. You wouldn't be trying to, I need change right now, none of that. What you would do is you put the game in the children, and then the children are going to go up and carry out a mission. So you set in motion a 250-year plan, 500-year plan, because you got to keep in mind, those that have power now, their bloodline been campaigning for that for a minute. So they put work in to have that. Whether it's the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, you name a powerful family in this world, their bloodline have put in work for that. It doesn't matter how you personally feel, how they got it. They have it. Okay, so put your feelings in your back pocket. So you're gonna have to campaign the same way. You're gonna have to play a 250-year, 300-year, 500-year game and put all the strategy and all the finesse in the children. So each generation, which is 30 years, each generation got more leverage, right? It's not about equality. It ain't about everybody having the same things, because everybody not the same, right? People that, everybody not the same, right? So campaign. All right, let me read it again. Never outshine the master. Outthink everybody, okay? And when you are in a closed environment, that's the time where you train your mind. And each day you go outside and you move through life, not with your feelings, but with your strategy. You know what I mean? Assessing situations, not talking too much, but then knowing when to talk. You know, knowing the science of small talk, knowing how to spark up a conversation with anybody, to, you know, looking at their body language, looking at their body. Does he got a watch on? What kind of watch? Is it icy? If it's icy, he might be new money. If it's a regular rollie, then he don't have money for a minute. It's a taste thing. Certain little things, you know what I'm saying? So look, never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. Boom. Everybody got a master around them. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, again, the people at the bottom, the talent that they are displaying is emotionalism. Right? That's the talent. That's the go-to. Oh, this is injustice. It's unfair. You keep taking my lunch money. Government, I need you to change. I need you to take care of my children. I need you to be in my marriage. I need you to give me things. Government, if you don't help me, then I'm shit out of luck. I'm not gonna figure this thing out because of game. That's what people are waking up in the morning saying, that, you know what, government fix my life. Someone fix my life. I'm not going to use game to go get what I need. And then somebody will say, you know what, but that's manipulation. It is manipulation. Man is made to manipulate the environment. How do you think we got tools? If man didn't have tools, man would get killed by the creatures of nature, right? So our skill is manipulation. You want to be able to change something, the outcome of things, and dictate things without even touching it. Mental manipulation is all fair game. So shit, you even gotta teach your kids to have mental defense, because if those same kids was in nature, animals would hunt on them. So that's just the game. So look, read it one more time. Never outshine the master. Never outshine him. Right? There's a way to move up under him, but without doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, you conceal your intentions and you keep your personal feelings about things out of everything. All right? And when you show up for the master, you do things to increase the master, right? At the same time, you increasing your position. And again, everybody's master is different. So, you know, some people's the government. You got your job, you got your church, wherever. But there is some type of master in place, all right? So, real quick, always make those above you feel comfortably superior, right? So, one way to do that, too, is also people talk too much, right? Meaning that, you know, if they know a lot and when they get around people, they always want to spit their knowledge all the time, like debate people, you know what I mean? But I understand that when you learn something, you want to, you want to share it or whatever, but that's actually very super annoying, and then you make people resent you. People don't want to be corrected. People don't want to be challenged like that. Nah, when somebody of lesser intelligence is talking, you make them feel like they're smart. The way you could do that is just ask them good questions. That's all. Just put them in a position to bust their load off. That's it. Just ask them good questions, though. But he wants to feel like he's something. But you got to understand, you got so much confidence that you're okay with the master shining, even though they're lesser than you. But you got to play a role because you might come from humble beginnings and they might come from a prominent family. So it would be unwise for you to make your move at that time, right? When it comes to game, this ain't civil rights, yo. When it comes to game and then when it comes to family position and playing the long game, man, it's not the NAACP. This not none of that. This is Machiavellian. This is Medici. You know what I'm saying? This is Napoleon. It's that, right? And it's those people that got the bloodline that's still running things now. It's the people that's playing above the neck while everybody else is playing below the neck. Nah, you know what I mean? So if nothing else, if it's too late for you, then you give it to your grandchildren, and then you know what I mean, you give it to your shorties. So when they're 25 and 30, they're not stuck. They got position, and you'll be comfortable dying because you know that your bloodline is out here putting on because they are the strongest mentally. All right, so you never outshine the master. All right, so that's law 1. All right, so use that law to maneuver in life, and it's not about how you feel, and it's a patient game before you make your move. Don't show your hand like that, and then don't do the most. Do enough. Make everything very intentional when you do something. When you do something, it's impactful. So it moves the master forward, but at the same time, as they move forward, you're standing in the same spot as them moving forward, and you're getting more position, and the master feels comfortable, they feel superior, right? So that's what it's about. So it's the game champ, Ken Billions. You already know, value for value. You see the Cash App, put it in my tip jar. Go to kenbillions.com and surf around. All right, see you. Peace.